Yeah, split the vid. It's going up on my YouTube. Back there, you sly little shit. Cheeky shit, fam. Where's Cheeky Doll at? Where my boy Cheeky Doll? Where my boy Cheeky Doll at? Vector doing that cheeky shit. Vector, why do you hate Starfield so much? Why do you hate Starfield so much? Vector. There. Vector. If you can hear me, why do you hate Starfield so much? You got such an animosity. You were like, man, you need to finish Starfield quick, man, and move on to a different game. What's that about? What's that about? You're getting sick and tired of seeing Starfield. When you see that South Park clip I linked in Discord, Transginger, the Transginger one. Yeah, I saw that one. This is what I mean when I say when I watched the recent video cutting. South Park used to be more prescient back then. Now it's just reacts. It's more reactionary. You know what I mean? It's way more like current and reactionary. Oh, the Joseph Smith one. Okay, wait, let's see. Let me find that one. Which Discord did you post it in? Which Discord did you post it in? Bat Nation, okay. Oh, okay, I just see it now. Let's bring this up. Bring this up. Strawbender, what the fuck? Wow, D&D Morphin. No, I'm gonna keep D&D to a healthy cadence, you know what I
mean? Give the gift of glamour this.
That's a great story, Sarah. All right, kids.
Wait one sec, guys. Italian as well. They say Moroni, it's Moroni. Fucking Italian. They don't like talking about that chunk of history. Finding the One Piece. Bloody hell. Dude, I would love to go back in time. Just be around Joseph Smith. Just follow him everywhere. Like, tail him. Just tail his ass. And be like, what did you really fucking go through, fam? Like, what is special about you that you managed to convince people? There are many religions. People, Jediism and all these fucking joke religions that people... But not every religion takes off. Like, not every religion takes off. Or like, subsect or whatever it is. But why this guy? I want to know what was so unique, special. Maybe he was a charismatic figure. Maybe he's like a Jim Carrey or fucking Alex Jones or something. I do want to know what about this nigga was like so special that people just diverged from their particular Protestantism or Catholicism and just adopted it. You know what I mean? Because they say Jesus was there, made America important. It's a very political Christianity. They got their presidents now. One gonna tap him on the shoulder and ask, "What you doing, fam?" I'm gonna overhear conversations he's having with the peasantry, like the peasants, and I'll be like, "Fam, I was there, fam. That's not what happened. That's not what happened, fam. Why are you lying, fam?" And I'm gonna tell everyone your heroes are frauds, like I do about Chibi. I'm gonna go back to 2015 more and telling everyone that your heroes are frauds. I'm gonna fact check. Yep, I'm gonna fact check him like Elon's fucking Twitter. Tablets. He found tablets, and he just found stones to decipher them, and only he knows how to decipher them. And from that, this bizarre fantasy novel language arose. They use the Rosetta Stone, right, to decipher hieroglyphics and shit like that. It's common knowledge. It's common history, common knowledge, everything. But this guy who found these tablets and deciphered it with these unique power stones, it's not on record anywhere apart from his head. You know what I mean? Is there an equivalent Aussie religious group? No idea. I've been rewatching South Park on HBO since I never got past season 9-ish. Forgot how good the show was. Yeah, I haven't fucked with South Park in decades. Cunning. I only recently watched the Pandaverse film. Pandaverse was great. They were much less crass and much more biting and on point. I think South Park was at its worst when it would just rely on being crass. And like bro humor. More like bro humor than biting satire. But Pandaverse was great. It was just always on point. Dude, you all hate Starfield. I know you're not here for the games, but you have a particular hate for Starfield. Alright, let's see what guys have got for me. Yeah, the film, I guess. I don't know what they call it. It was like an hour-long episode or something. Pandaverse film. Everyone hates Starfield. Not enough googly-eyed maids on the fucking screen.
That's a
Play the sound emote, Jesus. Mo would have dropped Starfield once he ran out of ammo. Maybe.
Long way to go.
Jesus.
If you're stuck in Logan.
Prosecutors, play the sound emote.
Tonight, a worldwide investigation into the evil and destructive ways of a self-proclaimed messiah, a charismatic Australian whose devoted disciples believe he walked this earth 2,000 years ago. We commissioned the Reverend David Milliken, one of the world's foremost experts on cults, to head up our special investigation that's been 10 months in the making. Tonight, we'll take you inside the messiah's isolated Queensland compound.
Isolated.
Followers, including children, for the apocalyptic end of the world.
Dreamtime stories of the Australian Aborigines.
The idea that the group is coming together in a community and that Miller is developing a compound, in my opinion, is ominous.
Does that mean a Waco then?
Because only the most
extreme
Waco cults isolate themselves in a compound. Jonestown or a Waco Davidian group, which were
Waco
two groups
Davidian.
that ended tragically in mass suicide. This is when groups become the most extreme because the leader controls everything.
The leader is this man.
They all got that Charlie Manson vibe, man.
My name's Alan John Miller, but I'm actually Jesus.
Or I'm actually
I remember
Jesus.
all of the events of my crucifixion.
I'm actually Jesus,
I
mate.
understood what was going on. I understood the reason for my death.
And he's collecting disciples.
You know.
Miller
Okay.
has convinced them that they were with him at his crucifixion.
Oh, he wrote it on the board. He must be true.
Hands, and just so much love that came from him, so I couldn't do it.
It was
Couldn't do it, mate.
excruciating to watch basically the annihilation of the person that I love the most.
These are actors. They look like actors. Some of them look like actors.
Whenever I think about him now, I just cry. I'm starting to have a soul, like an emotional realisation of who he is.
Deal with it. Dude, Jesus will not say that.
I'm on the way to Murgon in country Queensland to 2 days of teachings by Yeshua ben Joseph, or Jesus.
Joseph, Yeshua ben Joseph.
It's a gathering of the faithful from around the world.
Well, welcome along. I'm Jesus, this is Mary. And so what we want to do today is talk about
Wait, there's a
addictions and
Mary?
bribery.
Wait, there's a Mary as well.
And so what we want to do today is talk about addictions and bribery and fear, threats and blackmail. I can feel that many of you are still in addictions
What
with
the
regard
fuck?
to your development towards God.
I've got all of these emotional injuries. I will feed them with my truth.
These things are not going to go away from you just by you getting baptised.
To me, these words sound like rehashed New Age.
Don't they follow this guy's life, where this is just a dude called Ben Phillips, and then at 16 he started calling himself Jesus. These people should have like a rudimentary sense. I mean, critical eye.
Age pop psychology, but for these people, they burn with the light of divine truth.
Dude, I thought he's Jesus. Why does he need glasses? Why does Mr. Perfect need fucking glasses? Man grew up with less than 20/20 vision. What an unjust God.
Feel the disillusionment you feel. The disillusionment about the search.
What's happening here is AJ is talking about emotions. Now, most religions are suspicious of emotions. They see faith as essentially a thing of the mind, but emotions take us to the heart of AJ.
The camera's on her. She knows it.
What he's doing is setting up a sort of spiral where people get dragged down and down and down, and people are asked to plumb the depths of emotions from which many of them can never escape.
Lately, one way I've been able to...
This is why emotional arguments, this is why intellectual arguments are just supersede any sort of emotional argument.
Priority has been through therapy using BetterHelp. After graduating college and now being a young adult, therapy is so beneficial so you can talk about things going on.
One of his techniques to draw people in is to demand that they find emotional trauma in their family history.
Let yourself
what is they doing?
It's like to have to shut yourself down so much just to please your mother, because that's what she wants. That's what she wants you to do. Shut you down so much, and she was giving you all of these things, but she wants a heap of things in return from you, and that feels bad to you.
The jinn possession.
Allow yourself to connect with
the Holy Spirit's like a jinn possession.
You can start really connecting.
It's like a jinn possession. Why is the Holy Spirit like a jinn possession? Why is the Holy Spirit like a jinn possession?
And as you connect, that's how much rage is there. This is the childhood rage now. You see that? That's it. And this is the childhood rage. Let yourself feel it. Yeah. You feel that? Right.
Because a lot of times they can
And children are being caught in Miller's will.
He's trying to drive the Holy Spirit out. Dude, why is Mary showing her tits? Mary was the most chaste person ever. Why is she showing the tits? Oh, it's hot, maybe.
Dad didn't want my mother.
My dad didn't want my mother.
And
Before he became Jesus, Miller was a Jehovah's Witness pastor, but fell out with the church over an incident with a prostitute. I first met him and Mary during the Brisbane floods. For many
Did he say
years,
that the prostitute was like a reincarnation of Mary Magdalene or some shit? Is that what he's trying to do? He's trying to turn... It's like Kaiser said, you know when you wake up one day and you can connect the dots of your life. And he thought, I'm Jesus, I'm persecuted. I had a tryst with a prostitute. Now I have a girlfriend called Mary. I'm Jesus.
Miller made his money out of land development and a computer business. But now he believes he holds the salvation of the world in his hands. Along with a growing number of disciples who are buying properties next to him, he lives outside Kingaroy in Queensland.
My first memories were having nails driven through my feet. And those memories began when I was just over 2 years of age, so I didn't put them together as
Mary's supposed to be Jesus' mum. He's living with Mary like their husband and wife, like sexual relationship. Can people not, even on a basic level of what they know, of Christian from religious education at school know that this is bullshit? What the hell? He's saying he had memories since 2. He's banging his mum. Why did he become... He's banging his mum.
I'm Jesus from that. And so I just sort of slotted it into the back of my head and went merrily on with my life until such a time as I started having a lot more specific memories.
Here's the question, though. Do you think he knows what he's doing and he's a con artist? Or do you think he is nuts? He's completely cult leader nuts and his followers are all nuts? Because Charlie Manson was nuts. This guy looks like he's not nuts, he's just a con artist. Some Christians praise Mary like she's God too. That's true. They worship Mary. Mexicans worship Mary. Of course he's a con artist. Seen many of them. Both. Yeah, it could be both.
Which happened when I was 33, really.
Is it true that your mother tried to commit you to a psychiatric ward?
Yes, it is true.
You should have.
Yeah. And these are things that I knew would occur. This is why I went, what? I've got to, like, I'm having all these memories of who I am.
Persecution
and I
complex.
realise all of these different things coming up. And I also think about my future and I go, boy, do I really want to bite this off again? My mum and dad in the 1st century followed me around telling everybody I was crazy for most of my ministry. So you know, my father didn't even change his mind until my passing in the 1st century.
So can you show me the nail marks in your hands?
Of course not.
My father didn't even change his mind until my passing.
Because it's not the same body.
How does he
Miller spreads the word via the web, YouTube and seminars here and around the world. He claims there are 100,000 of his DVDs in circulation. He calls his message the Divine Love Path.
Dude, he printed that off his printer.
Which offers oneness with God through AJ's teachings.
How long have you been doing the path? Like,
this is a sex cult. You can just tell.
Hold it right up.
Some sort of fucking sex cult.
Praying for God's love and courage.
These nymphomaniac fucking
because I'm feeling
cult members. Oh god, this is so cringe. May as well have an orgasm on stage, fam. Yep, I'm with you, Kaiser. This just if you show someone this scene and don't tell them what he's claiming to be, you think this was some fucked up sex cult or something. Where's she staring?
Two and a bit months.
2 and a bit months.
It's torn my life to pieces. I've lost my wife. I've lost my home. I've lost my family. It's been tremendously devastating. And yet he's calling this divine love.
These people, man.
If Miller walked into the room right now, the way I feel right at this point, initially I'd have him up against the wall.
A thick neck.
And I'd look at him right in his eye. And I'd rip the f***er's throat right out.
Miller's reach is
what's going to
international.
happen to him when he's dead?
In San Francisco, I met Dugan McVerk, whose wife, Jennifer, fell under Miller's spell.
Yep, some fucking sex magic, sex cult.
Yeah, Jennifer is one of the most effervescent and lively spirits put into a body that I'd ever seen.
These are the deceivers, guys.
One of the most amazing
the deceivers
connections that I've ever had with another human being.
So in that relationship, what happened for yourself is it just triggered.
Vector, you should take tips. You should use this as like a chat-up technique. Take this guy's tips. Chat-up techniques for ladies.
That you felt with men.
Jennifer was introduced to Miller's teaching by 2 Australian friends and became captivated. She would watch and listen up to 5 hours a day.
Every day,
5 hours a day,
there would be more downloads, and it was continuous.
This is like me and Alex Jones.
Jen over the
It was like me and Alex Jones. Depressing.
The course of a month or so, basically become so absorbed in it that it seemed to be the whole focus for her. It was everything that she would be listening to. She came to me with tears and said,
Scottish, right?
Dugan, he really is Jesus. AJ really is Jesus.
Unbeknown to her husband, she began donating money to Miller and communicating by phone and email. Miller raised doubts about whether her husband was her soulmate.
Apparently, there's some requirement for soulmates, according to A.J. Miller, which brought into our relationship the innuendo of doubt as to whether or not she and I were soulmates. It was as if there was a third party
marriage
sitting right between us all
Jesus
the time.
does not destroy marriages.
And I was watching Jennifer basically just disappear.
Within 5 months, Jennifer left Dugan and planned to come to Australia to be with Miller. Desperate, Dugan contacted Rick Ross, America's leading culty programmer.
Rick Ross.
When Dugan first contacted me, he was very worried, and he was hoping that somehow, through an intervention, they might reconcile.
Jennifer. Can't blame Aussie Jesus, to be honest. Sounds like she would have left him or cheated eventually.
I explained to Jennifer that after meeting many, many cult leaders that claimed to be Jesus or God, how could she be sure that Miller was in fact Jesus? And all she could respond is, the teachings make me feel good. And there was a kind of euphoria that she experienced from listening to the tapes. And in a sense, this is a key to
Joe
the
Rogan
way
should join that
Miller
temple.
Quells their critical thinking, induces the kind of self-hypnosis that I've seen. They put their headphones on and they listen to downloads for hours on end. And I think this has a mind-numbing effect on them.
I am out of here.
The intervention failed.
Basically, Miller sets himself up as God.
Wait, you're not joking? Okay, I'll take you at your word then.
He is Jesus Christ. He is the God-man. And if you disagree with him, you disagree with God. So if you have a spouse or a family member and they are critical of Miller, they have come against God. And therefore, they are not spiritually.
Look how white that room is. How white that room is.
Right for you. Or as Miller might say, they are not your soulmate.
Yesterday morning, I left my husband.
Their Eucharist is dipropyltryptamine. Dude, there's got to be a documentary on that. I'll do that next time. If there is a documentary, you can find one, can't you?
Yes.
Or what? I'll react to it next time.
And I knew that it was something I needed to do because I was in an unloving situation, and I knew that I no longer really loved him, and so I wasn't living in truth.
Yep.
But it was still very hard, and it was still very sad.
Breaking marriages.
I've talked to so many people around you who are married, some of them married for many years, and I asked them the question, how long have you been married? Some people say 25 years. I say, is your wife your soulmate?
And they say, I don't know.
They say, I don't know.
And that's okay.
It's not okay, AJ.
Why?
That puts a tremendous pressure. Marriages are breaking up around you because of his teaching about soulmates.
It will become very obvious to you whether the person you're currently with is your soulmate or not. And this is why it's so good to be in your current relationship and work through the issues until you get to the point where you know
they just want young D.
Right.
It's clear they just want younger D. And this is the halal way, the halal Christian way of them getting it without. This is what exactly what I describe it. What istikhara, using religion or using a religious experience, real or not, real or imagined, to manipulate people into making decisions. Oh, because this guy's Jesus. Oh, it made me feel happy. He's Jesus. He said it, so it must be true. Let's break my marriage up.
You know it isn't right. Obviously, that is the time for you to leave. My teachings are all about love, developing relationship.
No, they're not, AJ.
They are.
They're not. A lot of your teachings are about addictions, about emotions, about fear, about struggle.
No.
You take people...
Is that the Yellow Pages?
It's about fear, about struggle.
Is he hitting the Yellow Pages?
No. You take people into a sort of holocaust, an emotional holocaust.
Yeah, I can't
Bitches just laughing.
I'm sorry.
Well, that's what I see.
When you start opening this soulmate side...
They look like the Yellow Pages with the two fingers pointing down.
Every other attraction that you've ever had will start to die.
They were a colony, man. British colony. With over there, maybe.
You think
The Blue Book. I don't know.
No. No. I mean...
We have a purple BT phone book.
The person I wanted to marry until I was 56 years old. In my heart, no, I'll never...
Used to be able to find them in phone boxes. Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Really amazed by just the stunning arrogance.
He's got some Native American thing going on with his hair.
Claim what he's claiming. I mean, he's about as... how does one say? I don't think he would know Jesus if Jesus came and bit him in the arse.
Tell me about what you think about AJ. Who is AJ to you?
AJ.
He's a bringer of truth. I feel that he is the Messiah. He's the messenger of God's truth to help us wake up.
Yes, he is. He is Jesus.
This is Gilia. This is no different to Gilia. Paying actors to gas him up. Gilia. Pedo Gilia.
And you've just discovered that?
I've only discovered that, yes, since I've been on this path.
Today is the 23rd of
These are real
November
people.
2020.
Oh, this AJ
And
motherfucker.
Gaza is still under the fire.
Through AJ's teachings, that's how we come to God.
Jesus, deal with it.
AJ, do you always tell the truth?
Dumb motherfuckers.
I always attempt to, as far as I know it at that time, yes.
So, did you walk on water?
No.
Did you raise Lazarus from the dead?
They're trying not to laugh.
Did you...
She's trying not to laugh.
So,
Watch.
did you walk on water?
No.
Did you raise Lazarus from the dead?
Yes.
So are you saying that you did some sort of miracles, but not other sorts?
There's a few miracles in the Bible I didn't do, but the rest...
The rest you did?
The rest I did.
Like...
Most of the miracles involving recovery of people's sight, the recovery of their limbs, but the walking on water is one of the ones I didn't do.
Yes.
Another one that I didn't do was turning the...
yeah, because you can't fake someone. You cannot fake someone walking on water. You can't fake someone restoring their eyesight. They're a paid fucking actor. You can't fake someone walking on water. That's the only reason he's saying what he's saying.
You didn't, so you couldn't give us a nice little...
You want a job?
His name is sec. Oh, I'll find out afterwards.
No.
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 Nah, can't do miracles. I'm son of God and God. I can't do
Central
miracles.
Queensland,
You
with a
dumb
woman
motherfucker.
13 years his junior.
The way that I first met AJ was at a talk in my parents' home. They had invited him to be there and he just happened to be in our living room giving a talk, and that's how we met, yeah.
He's banging his mum.
One of the remarkable ironies of your life
Yes.
is the role of your parents.
My parents told me that that they had found out through someone else that AJ felt that I was his soulmate.
A former aid worker, she was born Mary Luck, but AJ...
Dude, this is the perfect son of God. Why does he sing so shit?
So what's happened with you and your family?
I feel quite sad about it, David.
This is such a farce.
Just that
it's offensive. This is offensively bad.
What I want to do with my life at the moment, they don't agree with the way I'm living it.
But they introduced you.
I know, yeah.
Sex cult. All sex cult bullshit.
Sadly, my brother has said to me that he thinks I've gone mad. Yeah.
She knows she's gone mad.
I have memories of being at the crucifixion. Remember being there and just the intense feeling of my soulmate, someone I feel very connected to, suffering immensely. Although I feel I suffered more than he did. But just because of the development in love that he had at that time. But for myself, it was
disgusting that people think they can get away with this.
Basically, the annihilation of the person that I love the most. It feels like I might die from grief, and
all the Jesus Dead Day event Aussies.
It's so real.
You have convinced Mary that she was Mary Magdalene.
How has he convinced me?
You did not think that you were Mary Magdalene before you met her.
Oh, Mary Magdalene, not his mum.
You didn't tell her?
No,
I did not. So how can you say I convinced Mary?
Well, after she meets you, she begins to think that she's Mary Magdalene.
Well, that's her. I never spoke to her about it.
You had no thoughts about that beforehand, did you?
No, but to be honest, I really had no idea who Mary Magdalene was.
How many Mary Magdalenes have there been?
They're breaking people's marriages up, cunning. It's a cult. They're exploiting people's desire for a savior figure. I know if they're dumb enough to do it, they deserve it, sure. But it's still destroying marriages for the husband. You know, the husbands, you know, 20-year marriages, 15-year marriages, 25-year marriages for this fucking charismatic Aussie cunt.
There's only one Mary Magdalene.
We blame the mullahs for indoctrinating and brainwashing, right? We're like, Muslims got to get their house in order. The fucking madrasas have got imams radicalizing everyone. What's the difference? This guy's breaking up marriages.
But there's been others. Is it 2, 3?
No, you're not asking me. You're telling me.
All right, I'm asking you.
Okay.
Did you tell other girls before Mary that they were Mary Magdalene?
I told, yes, definitely. One girl.
What a fucking idiot.
Seems to use his position as Jesus to get sexual favors from women that he is attracted to.
Sex
and
cult.
So he
you can see them a million miles away. You look at the kind of dead-eyed, airy-fairy, drugged-up women that join these cults, and then you look at the guy himself, fucking straight up.
This woman is Mary Magdalene. Wait a minute, no, this woman is Mary Magdalene. It reminds me of many other so-called cult leaders that I've run into over the years who use their position of spiritual authority to get what they want sexually, financially, in whatever means they wish from the people that become their followers.
Miller has an inner core of about 30 disciples who have, in his words, forsaken
usually you can spin it and say, oh, even though we know this is bullshit, not true, at least it's meant to honor Jesus in some weird and twisted way. This is a fucking insult.
With him and to learn at his feet.
The key is to allow yourself to feel the sexual feelings, but understand when they're out of harmony with love, and when they're out of harmony with love, not to act upon them. Does that make sense?
There are hundreds more who believe he is Jesus, and many thousands who are intrigued by his teachings.
These are the
reasons why divine love doesn't flow all the time to most people, is because they're unwilling to have the awakening as to the perception of their true self.
And there is a special 13, his chosen apostles, who Miller says have been reincarnated to spread his message.
Where's Judas at?
Cornelius, and that was my name in the first century, my soul identity.
At Mergen,
Judas Iscariot.
I met Cornelius and Jody, who left her husband to follow Miller Both believe they lived at the time of Christ.
So you knew Jesus?
Judas will be the only brown guy in the fucking village. I want to see one black guy or one brown guy. I want him to be called Judas. What he's doing is awful, of course, but to be honest, I don't have much sympathy for the women who buy into the rhetoric. They're just as culpable. If they're so easily swayed by this nonsense, then maybe they didn't deserve their partners in the first place. And the marriage was a flimsy thing. That's also true. It's also true. The husband going there just so his wife isn't taken away.
As such, I saw him and listened to what he was saying. I did come across him once.
He looks like
I asked him about one of my servants that was sick and he healed the servant. I was just quite amazed by what he did until...
Quite amazed by what he did?
We were asked to go and execute him. And
I was happy as a frog in a sock.
My troops had to go and nail him to the stake. It was like a pole. It was me that had to do that. And as I went to get the spike and smash it into his hands, he just kept looking at me. And just so much love that from him. To me, I couldn't do it. I just had through it.
He's vulnerable.
Down
This
through
dude
the
is a
stake,
vulnerable person.
Spike down and just walked off, which pretty much was my death sentence in those times. You don't do that.
So do you think he's Jesus?
I feel at times that, yes, he's Jesus. And
what does that mean?
Mary's Mary Magdalene. And what I feel is the beautiful friendship we had together.
You know, this is why I think the Christian doctrine has done such a number on white people. The number that is done on people is specifically whites. And it's done stuff on black people as well because of the Christian missionaries. Blacks and whites particularly. You get the odd Indian fucking guy that's into it. But they're so vulnerable, these people.
He's Jesus, and yes, Mary's Mary Magdalene. And what I feel is the beautiful friendship we had together. And the loss of that.
Let yourself feel the disillusionment you feel, the disillusionment about the search.
Miller's followers, like Alex, have been convinced that there is an eternal battle between good and evil spirits controlling their behaviour. How does it manifest in you?
Dude, Giga Chat. And Giga Chat.
Well, in the past, it's caused me to do very unloving things. Spirits, basically, because I'm so open, spirits hook into me, basically step into my body and cause me to do things like, you know, drink all night, take drugs, you know, have sex with random women, just a whole lot of unloving things. And that's because of my soul condition, it's allowed a lot of dark spirits to do that.
No, this has allowed you to blame dark spirits for that. This has allowed you to blame dark spirits during this fucking cult.
How once you start recognising the addictions you have in play, particularly the ones with spirits, how instantly the spirits up the ante.
Tell me about AJ. Who is he?
Dude, if this is not an actor, they have done a number on this guy.
When I think about him now, I just cry. I'm starting to have a soul, like an emotional realisation of who he is.
If he's not an actor, they've done a number on this guy.
It's overwhelming.
It's fucked. He's vulnerable. He already said he was fucked up. Drink, drugs, booze, alcohol, sex, women. This is a vulnerable dude that got taken advantage of. It's fucking disgusting. Why couldn't he just go to mainstream Christianity? Why does he go to this particular tiny-ass fucking cult version of it?
I know that only God can save me, but at the moment I feel that
PR department
saved me through his teachings and his truth and love that I haven't experienced through.
Dude, these are like TV show actors, like Neighbours actors.
And I've been looking for a long time.
They're rejects, Neighbours rejects.
If I gather 10 of your people and start talking to them, within a minute they're talking about the struggle.
Why does he keep laughing?
And
just about
why does nigga keep laughing? I would slap him up. If that was me, I would fucking backhand him. I would backhand this charlatan.
Everyone I talk to is on the verge of tears.
But you notice that I don't view it as a struggle.
Look at poor Alex.
Sorry?
That poor guy. He
looks like a fucking actor.
Consumed
I agree
this
totally, he
struggle.
is. And I've talked to Alex many times about him allowing spirits to almost completely control his life.
Dude,
I think you...
Message to Christians out there. Do something about this guy. What an embarrassment to you guys this guy is.
You are at the early stages of becoming a cult leader.
Well, I don't see how I can be a cult leader when I ask everybody to actually engage their own desires.
You're on the way, AJ. You are beginning to... Look, you're beginning to gather all the means of control to yourself. You are the only source of knowledge within the group.
That is not true at all.
You are separating people away from their families.
No, I'm not.
How many people have I talked to? One of the questions I asked them was, what does your family think? Time after time, people are saying...
Now, David, read your Bible. What was said about me in the first century? You engage. Okay, what does it say Jesus did in the first century?
Yeah, that's right.
Say it.
Yeah, well, Jesus said that your greatest enemy would be your family.
Well, why do you think that I said that in the first century?
But that's not you.
My
Lord. You are not Jesus.
No, that's your opinion.
It's kind of dangerous.
Like, say someone was on Earth and they were in the 22nd sphere and they wanted to go to the spirit world.
The Bible's taken
like with their soul.
For over 4+ centuries, the Bible took enough of a beating as it is. It just keeps taking a beating, even today, by this guy saying, fuck your families.
Can they do that?
This is one of Miller's DVDs. Not only is he targeting vulnerable adults, he's also drawing children into his warped world.
I was wondering if my mum and dad are soulmates.
Knowing this is a sex cult, ostensibly a sex cult, this is fucking disgusting. These little girls are gonna grow up into this fucking cult.
Well, I might be able to...
He's also drawing children into his warped world.
I was wondering if my mum and dad are soulmates.
That's disgusting.
Well, I might be able to tell you it, but I'm not going to.
There was another question that you might not be able to tell me, but if you really desired to die, but you knew that it's not good to commit suicide, would your law of attraction bring that to you?
Yes.
Does God have a mum and dad?
Does God have a mum and dad? Now that is the hardest possible question I can answer. And I've lived now for 2,000 years and I don't know the answer to that question.
He doesn't know the answer to that question. Dude, you could at least quote the Bible and say, God the Father. The Christian Jesus, as we know it now, doesn't seem to know anything.
You're having fun with this, aren't you?
This is
Miller is still a fairly new leader. I mean, he really hasn't fully developed his group. It's still in its early stages. But the idea that the group is coming together in a community and that Miller is developing a compound, in my opinion, is ominous.
Of course, it's
again and again, historically, the most extreme expressions of cults have been in compounds, and some of the most terrible cult tragedies have been associated with that type of isolation.
This is the 600 acres that I was telling you about. It's currently owned by 4 different people. And what they're doing
Why does he look so fucking familiar?
For the
Because he says he looks like
Jesus. As a non-profit organisation.
He looks like an actor I've seen on a TV show or something.
With money from his believers, Miller
honestly,
is acquiring...
if he appeared on Neighbours, that Aussie soap opera, Neighbours, he wouldn't be out of place. I swear I've seen this nigga somewhere. I swear to God I've seen this guy somewhere. He looks so familiar, like he's acted on television or something.
Properties here and around the world.
Sort of goes in that direction about 1 kilometre, and about that direction about 1 kilometre from here, and then it goes up the hill.
No, I'm more Toyoverse bollocks.
He calls them sanctuaries in readiness for the great
cataclysm
he's prophesying will soon engulf the planet. And from the chaos, he will emerge the saviour.
Some of the things I know that you've said were going to happen, you know, like that there were...
You've been watching yet? You've been lurking at the
Hawaii.
Yeah.
Cause a 100-metre
tsunami
that would sweep over Australia.
This guy thinks he's the Australian Jesus.
There was going to be an earthquake, a devastating earthquake, and so on. You made those predictions.
And all of these things are going to happen.
The Earth itself is going to change a lot in the next few years. And what you now know as countries, some of them will disappear completely, other ones will change completely.
On one level, A.J. Miller is just a buffoon. But on another level, he has found the ingredients that make men like him dangerous.
He's dangerous, these kids. The only substance that flows through the Holy Spirit.
And if he goes on, he will continue to separate parents from their children.
Yeah, he's infecting not only marriages and but he's infecting their kids and their families. Yeah, Atia Mazen. I know Atia Mazen. You comment a lot, but you don't really interact.
Wives from their husbands and take money from his followers.
I think there are two AJs. One AJ.
Well, technically they are, right?
Friendly,
Trinity,
open, sort of Aussie character.
Aussie bloke. Yeah.
There's another AJ who has the heart of a tyrant. And
why is that fucking funny?
That's where you are heading.
Why is that fucking funny?
I see it, David. I am worried about what you're doing.
Why is he laughing?
I don't think it will end well.
He was about to laugh there.
I disagree
and
totally,
I see it,
David.
I am worried about what you're doing.
He wasn't wanting to fucking laugh there.
I don't think it will end well.
What is this fucking facade, fam?
For you and the people around you.
Right.
And I'd like to meet you in 10 years' time and see.
Can I make a prediction for you, David?
Okay.
You're going to want me to meet me much sooner than 10 years' time.
And what does that mean?
Well, it just means that many of your current thoughts will change over the coming 3 or 4 years, in my opinion.
Are you saying that I will become convinced?
I'm saying that you will start thinking, wow, maybe there is something in this. So I'm perfectly happy to speak with you should you be here on Earth in 4 years' time, or whether you should be in the spirit world in 4 years' time.
AJ, don't hold your breath, mate. Really.
Well,
really.
Can I say something to you? Many people in the first century have said exactly the same thing to me as what you are saying to me right now. And many times they've come back at a later point in time and wanted to have far more deeper discussions about the matter.
Okay. Look, thank you.
When was this filmed?
It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
When was this fucking filmed? When was this filmed? Let me find out. Looks like there's going to be no Starfield today. 2 reactions getting uploaded. Aussie Jesus. Who is it? Let me find out what date was it. Got that crazy Tom Cruise laugh. Yeah, he's unhinged. Guy's fucking unhinged, guys. Alright, so this was 2 years ago. 1 million views 2 years ago. And his name is Alan John Miller. That's what his name is, kind of. Alan John Miller. AJ Miller. This is 2 fucking years ago. This is like April 16th, 2021. Filmed older, yeah, probably filmed older than that. Yeah, because it's 7 News Spotlight, it's not 7 News. They said this was, this aired in 2011. This aired in 2011. Almost 13 years ago. What's he doing now? Let me see what he's doing now, guys. Hold on. Alan James, let's find out what he's doing now. 2011 this was. Alan John Miller, the man who claims to be Jesus reincarnated. Let's see. There's only one video that comes up for this, and it's from a year ago. Somebody might have made a documentary from a year ago. Let's find out.
2,000 years after the crucifix.
Oh, I'm not going to play all of this, but I'll play a bit of it. We need some fucking follow-up.
Tonight, a worldwide investigation into the evil...
We need a follow-up. Oh, there we go. Wait. Oh, he looks much older now.
Men claiming to be Christ at Waco.
There we go.
He's been described as the face of evil, with apocalyptic predictions for the end of the world, who breaks up marriages and uses his followers for sexual favours.
A friend of mine came to me one day and he said, "I've met this bloke and I reckon he's Jesus."
You know, how arrogant is that?
The video itself was filmed, I don't know what year, wait, let me quickly check. This documentary is from a year ago. And it was filmed... Okay, he's been featured on ITV this morning. It's March 22nd, 2022. I think he gets interviewed. Yep, from a year ago. It's the most recent thing about this guy on YouTube that I can find.
A wanker.
I have read he has a compound, and his followers are setting up home with him. Alan John Miller, or AJ as he likes to be known, believes
he's aged pretty well.
He's deadly serious.
He's aged pretty well. So that's the old footage.
The Roman soldiers weren't certain as to whether I'd died or not yet, and so they actually speared the side of my body up into the heart.
And the world's media are taking note as he broadcasts his teachings on the net.
He looks like Walton Goggins now.
People call me AJ or Alan John Miller.
Walton Goggins.
I'm claiming to be Jesus, that's true.
Oh, wait, that's our show. LBC, that's London.
Though, Jesus talking to us today and everybody watching at home and knowing that 99.9% of that audience are mocking you, are laughing at you, are saying, this man is bonkers and she must be as bad as him.
He's invited round the globe to teach divine truth with his partner, Mary Luck, who believes she is reincarnated.
Oh my God, this is true. Like, this guy is Jesus and I remember it. And actually, I remember who I am. Like, I understand who I am now.
I had to agree to be filmed and hand over my footage in order for me to get exclusive access.
Dude, they probably ran him out of the fucking...
I travelled 10,000 miles to his remote home in the Australian bush, an area known as the Bible Belt, to find out the truth.
Okay, this documentary is from a year ago, and it doesn't say it's filmed prior to that.
If in fact the divine truth is a cult, and AJ is a cult leader, then I would
But he has aged pretty well.
What AJ was trying to teach, why people were listening, and whether he is any different from the many men who have claimed to be Jesus before.
And if he's really Jesus and I really believe that, holy crap, I really got to embrace all the things he's saying.
Anyway, I got to have fun spreading the word of AJ Peeves, so I take
an
it.
IT professional, but gave it all up.
IT professional?
In the realisation he is Jesus. 5 years ago, he met Mary Luck, who believes she is Mary Magdalene. We took a 3-hour drive into the heart of the bush and the Australian Bible Belt to AJ and Mary's remote home, where it has been reported police were called because screams were heard from the Divine Truth community of worshippers who have set up home in his compound.
The police are on him now.
I was
the
eager
police
to
are
find
on him.
out the truth behind these worrying claims.
The police are on him.
It was soon apparent there was no community, no worshippers,
oh shit,
and no compound.
What happened?
It's incredible that a claim can be made like that, I find.
Yeah,
because I'm here and I'm seeing it for myself.
Yeah.
And
it was a purposeful claim. The people who made the claim stayed with us for 2 days, so they actually knew
that we just have a little 2-bedroom house with
house.
no fences and just we live here.
Christians and Muslims alike believe in the second coming of Christ, and for millennia, hundreds of men have professed to be Jesus himself.
Japan.
It is written in the Bible that Jesus
wait, is that Japanese?
Himself.
Was there a Japanese Jesus?
That Jesus said have professed to be Jesus.
Wait. No, that's not. That's Chinese, right? What is that? I can't tell. Oh dear. How this nigga Jesus? How this nigga Jesus? Okay, so I don't recognize the symbols at the top, but the bottom looks Japanese for sure.
Jesus himself. It is written in the Bible that Jesus said, "Take heed that no man deceives you, for many shall come in my name."
Jesus.
Saying, I am Christ. I was interested as to know why AJ thinks he's any different.
In
Brazil.
Central America, there's a guy in Brazil, there's a guy in Russia, there's many people, there's even in Australia, I've had 3 people ring me up claiming to be me. So that was interesting.
Serious, man.
But in each case, they don't have the extensive knowledge that I have. And they also don't display much love in
what knowledge you got, nigga?
or day-to-day life.
So
The guy in
why do you
Brazil, he just sits on his throne, actually. He has
It's
a throne
competition.
with a
Crown
on his head, and he sits there, and people come and kiss his hand. And
another sex cult. Why are there old women
it's
and
not right
young
for somebody
women?
to value me more than they value themselves, for example.
Yeah.
Most of the time I get the opposite emotion, that I am stupid and an idiot. and why would anybody want to listen to me at all?
So, can you describe to me why you believe that you are Jesus of Nazareth?
Well, I don't believe I'm Jesus of Nazareth. I know I'm Jesus of Nazareth. I suppose it's the same way in which you know that you're Thomas Leader, and that is that you've had a life experience that you remember. And for me, it's the same kind of thing, with the exception that I remember my life of 2,000 years rather than just the 50 years that I am right now. So I remember my life in the 1st century.
Looks
Shortly
good for
after
50.
I was born, around 2 years of age onwards, I remember pretty clearly most of the events that occurred in my life in the 1st century. I remember a lot of the events that occurred in the spirit world through my 2,000 years of life. I don't remember all of them yet because I still...
You say I'm bizarre for saying mum's eggs random, but what the hell, wee on his ass?
got some fear associated with remembering some of them. But, and I also, of course, remember my life in terms of returning back to Earth, how that felt, and the experience of that, and also then having this life. So it's all to me one life. It's not like I believe I was somebody else. I know who I am, and I know how old I am, and so forth. And I remember all of those events throughout my life.
Swear to God, this guy is so infuriating.
It's not just AJ who believes he has returned to Earth. His partner Mary believes she is Jesus' wife from the 1st century, Mary Magdalene.
To tell the
Jesus
rest
did
of the
not
world
marry, so
very
bullshit.
openly and plainly, I'm Mary Magdalene. There's only one of me, and I am here. I have come back. I wanted any other answer, and I searched. I shopped for other answers. I read books. I looked at, is it possible that I have a mental illness? Is it possible that somehow I've created this experience because I have a deep underlying desire to be special or have attention? I really looked at that, and
you know what the problem is nowadays? Why, Kaiser, me and you have to put up with so much bullshit? Is that we are around many people who are undiagnosed mental, undiagnosed autist, undiagnosed mental, or unmedicated autist, unmedicated mental. They're allowed to just roam free on the social medias.
It was fairly easy to resolve because I was pretty much hiding from everyone and hiding this experience from everyone for a number of years after we met.
Was coming to terms with the fact that you were Jesus easy?
No, very, very hard. There are many, many times when I just felt like it was impossible to actually even say. I'm completely aware that there are 1.5 billion Christians on the planet. I'm completely aware of how the majority of those feel about Jesus, that they believe Jesus is God. I'm completely aware that there are other people on the planet who don't even believe Jesus ever existed. And if you analyse anybody's opinions of Jesus on the planet, if you analyse anybody's opinions of Jesus,
he's a sex cop. Always on his mind. Sex is always on his mind.
I would say almost categorically that nobody knows who Jesus was. And here I was knowing myself, knowing who I am, and knowing that it basically rubbed out everybody's conception of what was true about Jesus. And so I spent the next 3 years trying to...
Yeah, they thought he was like a madman or something.
But at the same time, trying to teach God's truth. Basically, I'd talk to them for 4 hours about all these fascinating subjects, and they became more and more emotionally embroiled in the conversation and more fascinated by
the conversation itself, only to find out in the end that this nutter in front of them thought he was Jesus, which then caused them to think that was a whole waste of 4 hours now, and they, and they got very disappointed and very upset, as you can imagine. So I found it was far better just to say up front, I'm Jesus. Now let's get on with talking about some other subjects.
AJ and Mary were holding a 2-day seminar in a local town.
If Jesus came back, you'd know it.
That listened to their
and God to make sure you fucking know it.
AJ was a cult.
I can't believe people are this stupid.
This
is why white people are going extinct.
Though the seminars are free,
you're not going extinct. You're not going extinct because brown people are replacing you, or people are flooding the border. You're going extinct because you're just too fucking stupid.
Mary lived by donation, as to focus on spreading divine truth, and I'm told they use these funds to give to others and to distribute divine truth material. I saw no obligation to donate, but the people still did. AJ's teachings focused on people's emotional addictions.
Yep, emotional addiction. Okay, I'm gonna continue this next stream, guys. I gotta go eat. Let me quickly stream, see if there's any sort of more gassing them up, more talking. I may actually continue this next stream. It feels like more like a advertisement for these guys. More like an advertisement. One sec. How long is this? 30 seconds. All right. This guy, man. AJ Miller. Lucky I get to snooze the ads. Nah, I already did the stream before, Toshi, remember?
To give to others.
I am walking on water now.
You're standing on it. Walk over there.
There's a platform under there or something. Standing. Oh shit. Okay.
Miraculous that, mate. I've invented swimming!
Oh god.
Look, what do you think of that?
Love it. Love it. Counterculture within one man. Jeremy Clarkson. JC. Oh shit. Jeremy Clarkson. JC. Jesus Christ. Shit, man. We know that Kaiser has one hero, and that's JC. JC. The true JC. Jeremy motherfucking Clarkson. Middle East special for that. Alright, guys. Thank you, Vected, Kaiser, Atia Marzen, Toshi, Kaiser loving Jesus Christ. Yeah. I can tell Tony. Tony, did you know that Kaiser believes in JC? He was shook. Take care, Atia. Join my streams more often, Atia. Join them more often. We just have banter, chill, react to interesting vids, not all political, funny, you know. Even if it's not anime related, just bring it to me. I'll see if it's worth watching. Tashi and Ritalin. Maybe. I don't know. Alright guys, thank you. Peace out. Peace out.
From what I gathered, you grew up nice and sheltered with mama's pretty stories and your own made-up fury. And mama gave me a magic clicker. Well, yes, I think it's true and fair to say. stories early on. My dreams would light up my imagination, and you had nightmares night and day. Yeah, but with the clicker, I chased those frights away. Who knew? So true. So here